Good morning, everyone. It's Marcia Baker here. Thank you for joining me for our 10-day sketchnote challenge. I'm so excited. So, was that not the most amazing conference? Oh my gosh, I was so blessed. Um, and I haven't seen all the sessions. So, if you got to watch all the sessions, that's awesome. And I am excited. So, if you're here, just give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here. I know a couple of you here already. So thank you for joining me. So my purpose today is just to get the challenge started because I want you to sketch note your first sermon tomorrow. Oh, I know. But yes, hey, Joan, how are you? So absolutely, you can do this. You got this. I'm going to show you a really simple. Hey, Tammy. So, and Gail, how you guys doing? Thanks. Love that you're here. So I'm just going to get started really quickly. And so first thing, if you don't have the printable. So first of all, I'm just going to tell you, I have this new computer and like just trying to move in, I'm having trouble. Like I can't, my fonts are wrong. I just trying to get this handout out was like, oh my gosh, it was tough. It was like pulling teeth. So so this is the challenge, the handout. So where do you get this handout? You and first of all, if you printed out last night, there were probably like another 15 blank pages. So I'm really sorry, but at least hopefully you can just put them back in the copier paper. And but anyway, I fixed it, and the new one on the members only page is the correct one. So anyway, so let me just show you where to get started. So let's see, let me go to that one. Oh, there's Inktober. If you're not doing Inktober with us, I'll talk about that in a little bit. So the first thing is if you go to my website, blessinks.com, and sign up here, um, you should get, when you make sure you hit submit. When you hit submit, then you will automatically get an email from me. And in that email, there will be a link to the members only page. And the members only page has all our projects. So if you want to like look at some of the past projects we could do, but the one you want for this one is this one right here, the 10-day sketchnote challenge. If you want to grab that, so project 21-5. So so that's the one you need, and then that will get you, hang on, back to this one, that will get you this. So, and today, so we're going to flip around. Otherwise, this live could be hours long, and I know it's Saturday, and you guys are busy. I mean, I know I have a ton of things to do. So let's very briefly like talk about what sketchnoting is, very briefly. So sketchnoting is just really incorporating visual elements into our notes, and obviously it could be meeting notes, it could be school notes, but for me it just sermon notes, because nothing, okay, my husband's a pastor, and nothing is more embarrassing than people going, so how was the sermon this morning? And I'm like, yeah, I like that, that first part, I like that, thinking I can't even remember what he was talking about. So so that kind of motivated me to start taking notes. So this is a picture of, let me just see, there we go. So this is my brown paper um, sermon notes, and I kind of almost like this better than what I'm doing now. So maybe tomorrow I'll show you what I'm doing, or Monday. We're not going to be live tomorrow. We'll be live on Monday, because all I needed was a chalk pencil. And so, but you can see I'm taking notes, and I'm just drawing things. So my husband was talking about snapping beans, and so don't drift away. So I drew a little um, sailboat. So you can see that I'm not spending a ton of time on the art. I'm taking notes, and where it makes sense, then I'm drawing a tree or a mushroom, an anchor, a bathtub. Um, wash yourself in the reality of God's love. So, and then and then my eye is, so there's point 1, point 2, point 3. So they don't have to be linear, but my eye sees, oh, well, we've got points we need to look at. And then the other thing that I do is I always put the verse in a box so my eyes can easily see and go back and study. Because this could just be a really awesome way to just like, oh, I don't know what, like be in the Word every day, but I don't know what to do to be in the Word. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 verses right here that I could look at this week. I could just look at this week, and those could be the 8 verses that I look at to study. And that's how you can be in the Word, is just take that sermon that you heard today or tomorrow, whenever you go to church on the weekends, wherever in the week. There's an awesome church that meets on Wednesday. So wherever it is that you go to church, be in fellowship. That's really important. Just be in fellowship. Um, so that's just a great way to be in the Word. So you absolutely should be in the Word every day. And I know some days I struggle, but anyway, so that's what sermon sketch notes look like. But it took me years to get there. Let me get back to me. It's right. It took me years to get there. I did not start that way. So in fact, maybe I need to go find my first sermon sketch notes, because I took them in pencil because I wasn't brave, and I just and I doodled in the margins. That's what I did. So it really helped me. So the whole thing is keep your pencil busy. All right. Uh, there, right. I'm just looking at the comments. So hopefully we're going, and so we're getting there. So, right. So hopefully we're all on board. Hey, Terry and Renee and Sandra. Anyway, Eliza, is it Eliza? All right. Your books are in the mail. So, hey, Lorraine. So, all right, back to it. So anyway, so don't feel like you have to be perfect, because it takes a lot of practice. Because one thing we do in the Sketchnote Boss group is we draw a little icon every day, and that's part of what we're going to have you do. So, and that's the other thing, that it's like I have typos, and this is sort of a hot mess, but it's better to be out than be perfect and not be published, right? So that's the deal. So, like every day, I think I tell you on page, let's see, like day 1. So on page 9. So there we go, page 9. There we go. I want you to just list 30 things that you want to draw. 33 things, okay? Sun, moon, stars, whatever. Just things like, oh, I would like to learn to draw those. And then you can Google them. And another place that you might want to look back is in my my Instagram feed, because last year I did, in the 100-day challenge, on the 100-day project, I did pages and pages. Hang on, let me flip over here. I am just all over the place today. So this is my sketchnote challenge, and so so I just did, like, here's kitchen stuff and leaves and medical icons, and I just people, so I just challenged myself. Okay, I just had a little moment there with the circles, monsters, and like, okay, why is this woman drawing monsters? Okay, but that's a great metaphor for fear, right? So basically, sometimes we just need to figure out um, how we can take some metaphors or some kind of squishy thoughts and make visions out of them, or make little images out of them, because that just helps our brain. So the more we're keeping our pen busy, the better, the more that we're going to listen, because what we're doing is we're actually writing this information on our brains twice. We're hearing it, we're seeing it, and we're associating what we're hearing with what we're putting on the paper. And it doesn't matter if we're just doodling. So if you're just doodling in the margins, that's okay. So, but I just think if we practice things, and if we start talking about bunnies or dogs or whatever, then if we know how to draw that, then it's like, oh, it's okay. And if we don't know how to draw, it's okay. We're just going to leave space and draw it later. We can always draw it later, because remember, these sermon notes are for our benefit. You can publish them if you want, but we're not, that's not our purpose. Our purpose is to learn what the Lord has to say to us. There we go. Am I back? No. There we go. I'm back. So, our purpose is to hear what the Lord has to say to us, and really just grow with Him. And I just found, for me, I needed to be visual, and being, constantly keeping my pen busy is I'm 100% engaged, because if you're not keeping your pen busy, even doodling or whatever, then your mind wanders, right? And I know doodling gets a bad rap. People are like, oh, you're just not paying attention. But really, you're so hyper focused to be there to hear what's going on. You Thanks, Renee, for the noun project. I will get to that in a second. Thanks. Anyway, that is my brain is squirrel. I'm just all over the place. But and see, that's why I got to keep my pen busy, so I'm just hyper focused. And so anyway, so it works for me, and I'm finding it works for a ton of other people. So um, I'm hoping this works for you. So let's see. I want to make sure we talked about getting the printable and the supplies. So the supplies that we need are really simple. Um, really, all right, is it? Okay, all right, maybe an eraser. Is it? Is it? Is it? Oh, paper. That's it. Oh, well, okay, blank paper. Anyway, any paper's fine. Just your handout. I personally love the Sharpie pen. I go through boxes and boxes of these. They're just, the micron pens are great. I love them. But these are not as expensive, and I go through a ton of them. So I just like just the Sharpie pen, but the micron pens are great because they have really fine lines, like a .005 up to a point or a 1, which is a thicker line, right? So there's this. I also have this Pigma Sensei pen, which is a 10, which is a really bold line. So if you want to get things done quickly, that's a great thing. Never be afraid to use a pencil. It's not cheating. So pencil and eraser. And if you have colors, if you want to use colors, great. I don't even have any colors with me right here. These 5 seconds. So yeah, Renee is absolutely right. Do not break the bank. So just remind me about the noun project at the end, because that's a great resource to, well, I guess I'll just talk about it now. So the nounproject.com, maybe I will have that up and running on Monday. And it is just a great way to, so it's like, oh gosh, I don't know how to draw that. And they, so they have simple things like a bunny. And so they're going to have like, 100 ways to draw a bunny. But then if you put in like, I don't know why this word comes to mind, but sorrow or Thanksgiving or joy. And if you put those words in, they'll actually, someone will have attempted to do a really, really simple little icon of those things, and you can draw them. So, and then you're going to eventually develop your own. So when you see, maybe you decide that a heart means joy, or maybe a heart means love, or a heart with, it's a heart with little hands out, something like that, maybe means joy. And so therefore, when you hear and you need to like illustrate joy, boom, you just got that image down and you can move on and make it faster. So, so today I'm going to show you what I want you to do tomorrow. So you're going to be ready to do, oh, thank you. So the link is in the announcement. So, hey, Jean, welcome. So, so here's the plan that I want you to do. Is I want you to take, so basically the format, so let me get to page 13. So page 13, I know, like, okay, it's got 2 lines on it, really? So this is your format for the sermon tomorrow. It's what I want you to do. So I want you to, here's the instructions. I want you to write a title. Actually, let me do the overhead. I think maybe that's a little better. So, all right. And I actually did one so I could show you. There we go. So tomorrow, day 2, your job, your challenge is to do the sermons. So this is the format, okay? So you're going to put your sermon title in. So we're not here to learn calligraphy, right? At some point, maybe it makes sense to write fancy, but for now, we're just going to do basic block letters, right? Sermon title, and then underneath, you're going to write where you are, the date, the speaker, and the speaker. Any details that you have about the sermon title, and then right here, you're just going to take notes. On this section, you're just going to take notes. And then when it makes sense, you're going to draw pictures. You're going to go back. And so I'm going to challenge you to draw 3 pictures. So I found, so in the, right under the title, there is a YouTube link, right? So there's a YouTube link, and it is on thankfulness. And so I just used my Sharpie pen. So, and then I drew a line down the middle of the page, or not the middle, like it's like almost not even, it's more than a, I don't know, math and I are not feeling good today. So what is that, a quarter? Maybe that's a quarter. And then I drew a line here, and then I drew a line there. Okay, and then that way all my letters were even. Okay, so that's why I did that. So I drew my sensei, this thick one right here, drew this big thick line like that, right? And then the next thing I did was I wrote the title. Okay, and so this is how we center things. Is I on a post-it note, I wrote out the word thankful, THANKFUL, 1, 2, and then I count the number of letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So then I need to find the space between. So if it was 9, like gratitude is 9. So so when I count, then 9 divided by 2 is 4.5, round up to 5. So what's the fifth letter? The fifth letter is gratitude. So if I was going to write gratitude, then the I would be in the middle part. But since I have 8 letters, then the space between the N and the K is the middle. So I kind of found the middle part, right? And then I start and I write KFUL, okay? And then I go backwards and I write the N, the A, the H, and the T. So I write this way. And then that's how you get things centered. Is it perfect? Probably not. But you know what? If you're constantly getting your ruler out, it's going to look very stilted and cold. And so just, mistakes are just give it a lot of character. So that's how I did the title. Okay. And then it's a YouTube video. So the title was Wake Up Every Morning and Thank God. So I thought, well, we've got November coming up soon. And so it's also, it was a 5-minute video, right? So it's on YouTube, and then the source was Above Inspiration. So that's the name of the channel. And it was done on August 3rd, 2020. So one thing we're going to learn is we're going to learn to have our eye recognize the hierarchy of things. And so I do bullet points. And so I decided, so wake up every morning. So I decided my little bullet point was going to be little sunshines, right? And so basically so what I did is, don't look at that, right? So I just took notes. It's all I did is I went and I took notes. And I didn't even think about trying to draw any images. I just took notes of what was important, right? And so, and the beautiful thing about this video is you can stop it at any time and finish that thought before you go on to the next one. You could watch it twice. You have lots of choices. But basically, I just watched it once and I just took notes, okay? And then after reading my notes, I went back and went, oh, well, what can I draw? So what can I draw? So, do I say thank you when I wake up in the mornings? Because God is our God. And so I thought, okay, what does the morning look like? So, I drew a cloud. So clouds are easy. In fact, I'll just draw along, okay? Actually, paper. There we go. I am just going to use some index cards. I'm just going to use a basic little index card here. And so a cloud. All right, so if you're going to draw a half circle, and I'm going to get to images, how to draw them, but just to get you started. And then it's just a bunch of little, and then I like to end my clouds with a little spiral. All right, and then I'm going to do another one. So basically I do 3 lumps and a spiral, 1, 2, 3 lumps and a spiral, and then connect it, and then if I wanted to do another little one on that side. All right, and that side. And then I'm just going to give my sun some rays. And then maybe I'll color it yellow, or maybe not, or maybe I'll just leave it at that. So that to me was morning. And then he's going to wake up and walk with me all day. And so the other thing that I want to talk about while I'm thinking about it is when you're writing, try not to write cursive, try to print in capital letters. And you're going to get, and it's going to take a little practice, but you're going to get, it's going to be very easy to read, because that's the other thing is your eye does not want to go back and try and decipher cursive. Your brain is like, no, I don't want to read that. So, but it can very much decode very capital letters and very quickly. So just get in the habit, and I'm not doing it all the way, so I just, for whatever reason, decided to do going small. But so practice makes better, right? So he's going to walk with me all day. So I decided to do, so this is how we do shoes. And you can actually do feet, but I just want in the interest of time. So it's a square for the heel, and then I'm going to draw another parallel line, right? I know you probably can't see that really well. All right, this overhead camera is the bane of my existence. You know what I need to be doing? I get what I need to be doing is using this big pen so you can see. So anyway, so if I get a camera that zooms, it's constantly wanting to zoom, and then it'll just make you seasick. All right, so there's a square for the heel. So I'm going to draw a parallel line, and then I'm just going to kind of draw like the top part of an almond. So there's a foot. All right, and then I'm going to offset it with a square one. All right, and then do it again. And then maybe I'm going to come up here. And now all of a sudden, now we know how to draw walking with the Lord, right? They don't have to be perfect, but that's how we do that. So the next thing was God allows you to wake up every morning, right? He allows you to have your sight and your vision, your hearing. Sight and vision, that'd be the same thing. You know, your mobility. So it's not your alarm clock that wakes you up every morning. So I thought an alarm clock would be easy. So an alarm clock would be a good thing. And maybe it says it's not your alarm clock every morning. So let's draw the alarm clock. So it's a circle, and then 2 half circles. I'm just drawing an old-fashioned alarm clock. All right, and then feet. All right. Assuming we're waking up at 6 o'clock. All right, so if you wanted to do not, you could do that and then draw a line through it. So that would be a knot. So that would be the way to do that. All right, so but anyway, so do you get the gist of things? So basically, your notes are probably not going to look like my notes. Other things that were said in that video may speak to you more, and those are the things that you should write about. All right. Let's learn to draw the Bible. So that's a very simple thing. So we're going to draw. You could draw it straight, but I always tend to draw it on an angle. And then I'm going to draw 2 S lines going that way and 2 S lines going this way. And then I'm going to connect them, and my lines are parallel here. And then I'm going to draw another line underneath. And then maybe on one side, just draw another line, and then that way we've got the Bible open, or a book. But when you're sermon sketchnoting, more than likely that's going to be the Bible. So, all right. So then we have storm clouds. So now we know how to do clouds, right? So if we wanted to make it a rainy day, we're just going to add some little raindrops, and then a thunderbolt. So you're just going to do a zigzag line, three sections, and then you're going to come up and do a zigzag line, and then they're going to meet. And now you have a lightning bolt. See, so if you just look at things and we're breaking them down into their very basic parts, just with the icons, it's all we're doing. We're not shading. You can add color later, but we're just really interested in getting the basic images down. So, and then that sort of leads me to the end. So, all right, I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing any comments. So, and then I have this space at the end. Let me get there. There we go. I have this space at the end, like, really? Okay. I have to show you last week's sermon notes. Like, I have this half a page. It's like, my husband, it's normally my husband's in speaking, um, preaching these days. He and we have three pastors anyway, so this is his time to speak to the end of November, and then he'll be on sabbatical for 6 months. It's like I have this half a page. I'm like, what do you do with a half a page? So again, this I could have maybe taken more notes, but whatever. This all spoke to me. So be thankful every day. So, but in this video, um, there were no verses, so it wasn't really a sermon. So I thought, well, maybe I should add a verse. So I went ahead and I put it in pencil, so you can kind of see, so you can see the space that I had. So I'm gonna have like 2 inches there, and then always at the bottom, sketch note your name and the date. I didn't, so I'll put in the date a little bit later, um, and then I will post this. But I thought, oh, well, maybe 1 Thessalonians 5:18 came to mind, and all things give thanks. And so I just penciled it in so you can see, like, and it could be, you could just decide, oh, I'm just going to do a pattern of hearts, so maybe you could decide, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do, and you could do hearts upside down and just do a row of those and color that in. And that totally works. Sorry, am I going a little too fast there? Something like that. So that's a great way to fill the space as well. Or you could just do a box and fill it in with checkerboards. It doesn't matter. Or you could just totally leave it blank. It doesn't matter. But especially if I like, again, when I said keep your pen busy. So another thing that I do is like, so my husband is like, oh, he tells stories. And sometimes it's like, oh, they're great stories, but it's not something I necessarily want to capture. And so I will just go back over the title, making those thicker while he's telling stories. It's what I was like, I got some time to kill while I'm listening to whatever story he's telling. Or, if there's an announcement or a video that I don't necessarily need to capture in my sermon notes, I'm just going to continue, or you can make a border around the page. Just keep your pen busy, right? So you could just draw hearts at the bottom. It just, if you got some space here, wherever. But I tend to just work on the title because I don't want to take up space in case it's like, oh, I've got a ton of information here and I need more space. So I maybe don't want to take up the bottom. So that's why I tend to just, just keep working on the title, right? And maybe I'll come back later with my sensei and make that all nice and not look so like like I make it look more cohesive with big flat lines. So anyway, so there is your goal this week. So I'm back to me. All right, so there's your goal. That's what your sermon notes should look like tomorrow. That's what my sermon notes are going to look like tomorrow, which might be a challenge given it's Dr. Baker. So any questions? You guys have any questions? So hey, Karen, and oh yeah. So all right. Let's see. I'm just looking at the comments. We got the noun project. So the link to this video is right there up at the top. And so if you want to practice, you can totally practice on this thankful video. Otherwise, you can do your notes. So just concentrate on taking the notes. Just take notes regular and just concentrate on making a nice big title, the who, what, when, and where right underneath. And then just take notes practicing your printing. Those are your goals for tomorrow. And then on the quarter strip of the page, I want to challenge you to come up with 3 images. So I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 images. Don't feel like you have to do 8. You can totally do 8. You can do 10. But I'm just going to challenge you to do 3. And so if you don't know, like, oh, I think I might, and that's where your pencil's going to come in handy. So you might just want to make yourself a note. I want to learn to draw a heart, or I want to draw, children, or alarm clock, or whatever. You can write it in pencil and then go look at the noun project to feel like to learn how to do that, right? And then you can draw it in and you can color it. So I am going to finish my, um, actually, I'm going to finish this and show you it on Monday. Okay, I'm not going to post it till Monday, I think. And then I will have my sermon notes from tomorrow I will do. And so let's see, I'm just reading everybody's right, Joan. So Joan's going to get back into, a sermon series on fruits of the Spirit. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love fruits of the Spirit because you can just come up with all kinds of different fruits, right? Bananas and apples and pears and cherries and grapes and so on. And so those could be things that you could practice drawing if you know you're going to do so, especially if they're doing a series like, ooh, today I'm going to do apples. Maybe apples could be my little bullet points. And then bananas are actually really hard because you got the square end and you got this round thing. So I have not mastered bananas, but maybe we will. I don't know. Should we do banana? We can maybe do banana. So, hey, Carolyn. So, also, Carolyn makes such a great point. Coming up with images is a roadblock for me. I do better when I get ideas from people. And, also, thank you for saying that because that is so, so important. So, here's the deal is that if you are going to run a marathon, okay, so if this body decided it wanted to run a marathon, like my daughter-in-law runs marathons, and she's like, oh, I think I don't have anything to do today. I think I'll go run 10 miles. I'm like, I can't even imagine, like, okay, I don't have anything to do today. I'm going to go sit and doodle. All right, so if this body would decide to run a marathon, okay, I cannot run 26 miles, 26.1 or 2 miles tomorrow. It's not going to happen. I'm going to probably have to walk the neighborhood and then walk and run mailboxes. And I'm going to really have to train to get myself to 26 miles. I have to train my muscles. I have to get myself in shape to be able to do that, right? So the same is with being visual. It is a whole nother language. And I guess maybe even another example would be um, if you are going to move to Italy tomorrow, right? You are not going to like, oh, I'm just going to listen to, podcast on my way over or some tapes or something on my way over. And when I land in Italy, I'm going to be fluent. No, you're not. It's going to take time. And so you are developing another language. You are developing your visual skills. And I'll talk about why later. But, we all got to the point, at some point in our elementary career, we were just like, oh, somebody was such a better drawer than us, and so therefore we can't draw and we have no talent. Well, this is not about talent and it's not about art. It's about getting ideas on paper. And if we draw this little thing and we know it's a dog and nobody else knows it's a dog, it doesn't matter. We know it's a dog and we go back and look at those notes and um, and then it's a dog, and that's what's important because these notes are for you. You may at some point want to publish them, and I'd love to see them published, see what you do. But for now, it's just taking time, being gentle with yourself, giving you permission to be ugly and to do ugly things. Not be ugly, that's not what I meant. But if your paper looks ugly, it's okay. All right, it's totally okay. And it's fine. Just be gentle with yourself, right? Because it takes time. So that's the thing. So Carolyn, thank you for bringing that up. Because that's such a great point. So, all right. Any other questions? Because I am running over 33 minutes. I didn't really mean to be that long. Trying to keep these shorter to 15, but you can't stop me. When I get started, I can't stop. So, all right. So, any other questions? So, all right. I don't see any other questions. So, Monday, I will be, post your work in the Sketchnote Boss Facebook group. So, you know what? Maybe I will. I will go ahead and post this. I will get it all colored and finished and post it in the Sketchnote Boss Facebook group. And I would love it if you would also post yours as well. And then on Monday, I'd like to talk about what challenges you had, if it was easy, what the experience was. Did you feel like you got more out of it, out of the sermon than normal? So, and also don't get freaked out that people are going to watch you, right? It's okay. And actually, it's just a great conversation starter. Okay. And like, wow, I could maybe do this too. So especially if you have like new people and they're watching you, It is just a great way to bring them into the fold, into the fellowship. So don't be intimidated. It's going to be okay. So, all right, I am going to leave it at that. And thank you so much for being here. So I'm not coming tomorrow because I'm going to be at church because, being the PW, pastor's wife, can't be late, right? Okay, which I normally am, but I try really hard not to be. So, all right, so I will see you Monday at 10 o'clock and can't wait to see what you do. Have an amazing weekend. I'll be praying for you guys. Love you, and I'll see you then.